Hello everyone, welcome back to another Pokemon The Series The Beginning episode talk. So in this episode, time to head for the professor. However, nobody really knows how to get there. So let's find the Pokemon Center and ask a Nurse Joy. Where once again Misty pulls Brock's ear away from the Nurse Joy. But Joy's like, yeah, it's the white building right there. That's where you need to go. So the gang head over there, they enter the lab and it's like, hey, Professor Ivy, anyone home? But it seems like no one's home until the basement opens up and three girls pop out and it's like, who allowed you to get out of the basement? But they are the assistants of Professor Ivy. So we go outside for Professor Ivy, who seems to be, first of all, a very attractive woman. And then she rides the Gyarados back, wish she would ride me, and also just jumps in the air, grabs the lab coat, puts it on, and makes a fantastic 10 out of 10 landing. And we get introduced to Professor Ivy, who actually, when Professor Oak talked about her before, actually misgendered her and called her a guy instead. So that's a bit of a shame. But we go into the lab and we are introduced to the most pointless thing on the planet. Welcome, GS Ball, which is a plot device that will be thrown away and completely forgotten about because instead we're gonna make the fourth movie. Yeah, indeed. Apparently there's supposed to be a Celebi inside of that GS Ball, which was gonna have a big plot relevance. However, since the fourth movie decided to use Celebi, they just skipped it. However, the GS Ball, which, by the way, for anyone who doesn't know, gold, silver, ball. Simple as that, right? It's just a gold and silver ball. A tease towards Generation 2. However, the ball can't be transported. It cannot be opened no matter how many tools we use. A crowbar, a hammer, nothing works. So then we call Oak and we're like, hey, Oak, we got it. We got the ball. We'll be heading back soon. And then Professor Ivy has a bit of professor talk with Professor Oak until Ash like, so is this gonna take long or meanwhile, Team Rocket is sad about the blimp and they're gonna immediately try and fix it because of the fact that the gang still needs a ride back. And we can catch them on the way back, which also is like, why would they trust the return tickets? Plot will probably force them to. So then we head into the forest, and here we make a big discovery for this franchise, but it's a future thing that the franchise does, but it is already introduced right now, which I think is the greatest thing ever. I mean, it wasn't planned that way, it's just coincidences happen like that, but let's just talk about it, because of the fact that as we are going through the forest in order to feed the Pokemon, we find out that the Pokemon look a little bit different. Vileplume, Paris, Butterfree, they look different from regular Vileplume, Paris, and Butterfree. And also the colors on Raticate and the Nidoran are also slightly darker. And then Professor Ivy's basically like, well, I mean, it's the environment, right? I mean, the climate here is different than back in Kanto, so that's why they look different. And it's like, oh my god. I haven't watched this episode in decades, so watching this episode right now, I was like, that's regional variants! This is the introduction of regional variants. That is so cool! Even though it wasn't planned to be that way. That's just something that Game Freak thought of during Generation 7. But the fact that we have regional variants all the way back here, I don't know, I think that that's actually pretty cool, the way that it all ties in together. However, the Butterfree won't eat, so Brock is like, alright, let me have a little bit of a taste. Yep, I know what the problem is. Heads into the forest, grabs a couple of berries, grinds them up, puts them over the food, and the Butterfree fly down and eat the food. And it's like, wow, that Butterfree is just like my dog. Because if I give my dog food, my dog doesn't want it, unless I put something special on it, which is actually pretty cheap, so that's why I'm able to do it. But if I put like a little bit of special through it, it's like, alright, now she wants it. By the way, I'm not gonna say what it is because I don't know the name. I'm sorry, I just don't know the name. But I do that, I put that through her food and then put it down and then she wants to eat her food. Otherwise, she just won't eat it. And it's like, Butterfree, you are just like my dog. So then we head back to the lab and it turns out it is a messy place. Because of the fact that Professor Ivy has been too busy with research, she hasn't had time to, you know, perform her female duties, cleaning and cooking. So Brock is like, oh my god, this is amazing! Because of the fact that he grew up with like way too many siblings, he starts to clean and cook everything. And I was watching this and I was like, perfect husband material right there. Technically, perfect wife material. And then during the night, Ash and Misty are asleep and Ivy is outside studying Vileplume, who are pollinizing, I guess. I don't like those Pokemon now because of the fact that I am allergic to pollen. But then Brock brings her a midnight snack. However, there's another sneaky visitor here as well. Eradicate has joined in and gets sick immediately. So Ivy jumps in, grabs the Eradicate, pulls the Eradicate out, and then tells Brock to get the Eradicate to Nurse Joy. And she will also get the Nurse Joy because they're both not really well. So then the next day, the gang is like, alright, time to head back home. Where's Brock? And we see the fact that Brock is fixing the roof of the lab because apparently something broke there. And then we have the reveal of sadness. Brock will be staying here. He's not gonna join us anymore. And I did feel sad. I was like, no, don't leave us. I mean, I know he'll be back, but still don't leave us. So sad, you know, but this is what Brock wants to do because have you seen Ivy? She is so hot. Who wouldn't want to stay? So Ash and Misty accepted and then they head back. However, Ash is like, hey, we still got the blimp tickets to get back home. And Misty's like, yeah, but actually that was not really whatever. So we get to the place and Team Rocket have built a new high-tech blimp instead. So they grab the gang, pull them inside, put them in their seats, and then we take off. And then they pull down the cage and reveal themselves as Team Rocket. And then Ash's like, Pikachu, use Thunderbolt. And they're like, no, you can't do that because of the fact that there's gas in this place. And if you use Thunderbolt, that will go kaboom. So you'll kill all of us if you do that. However, instead of that, we do get a song. Because once again, Jigglypuff has joined us on the blimp and starts to sing, and Team Rocket put on their parachutes and fall out, but the parachutes does go out, and they, once again, Jigglypuff joins them, and the main gang is still trapped on the blimp to end this episode. And overall, I thought this episode was actually a lot of fun. I really like the fact that, you know, Brock wanted to clean and cook and stuff like that. I mean, that's what he did when, you know, we met him, so it's perfectly in character for him to do that. It's sad that we have Brock stay. Also, Professor Ivy is very hot. And she's the biggest idiot on the planet. Let's be honest here. Because she will fumble Brock. She will reject Brock, which is why he comes back later on. Which is, how do you reject someone like that? Come on, dude. He cleaned the whole house. He fixed the house. He cooks. Okay? What more do you want? After a hard day, he will give you a massage if you ask him. The biggest fumble on the planet. But I very much enjoyed this episode. However, the fact that they're going back on Blimp was like, how stupid are these characters? Why are they going back on Blimp? But overall, I enjoyed the episode. So let me know what you guys thought about the episode in the comment section down below. With that being said, thank you all so very much for watching. And I do hope you guys have enjoyed. And if you did, please like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel. Turn on notifications. Don't forget to check out the Let's Play channel. Link in the description and at the end of the video. And I'll see you guys next time if the gang can make it off the Blimp. And also, some sketchy stuff will happen. Bye!